Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be looking at our math pages in our student book. And your student book you should have brought home on Friday, but if you don't have your student book for some reason, you can find it in the Google Classroom under the math topic in the Bridges student book area. You'll have to scroll all the way through, maybe download it to your computer if you can. That's what I had to do this morning. Just download it, then open it up and print out the pages that I needed. So I'm on page 175. So today you're just going to be reviewing the standard algorithm for multiplication, which is something that we finished taking a test on a couple of weeks ago. So it's really more of a review. But if you look at the top of the page, you'll see that there are some problems here. We're solving two numbers and they have zeros in them. So how do we solve those? We have an example here for number 2, where we'll have two partial products. So I thought this morning that I would just go over a couple of these problems to make sure you understand what you need to do. So I'm actually going to use a bigger piece of paper over here, and I'm going to start with the first problem. We'll do 80 times 60. Now with 80 times 60, when I look at this, I can see a shortcut, but I'm going to show you how to do it using the standard algorithm, and then I'll show you how to do it using a shortcut. So first we have our zeros. So it's 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0. Okay, so that's my first partial product. Now I'm going to move to my second partial product, making sure that I use a placeholder. So now I have 6 times 0 equals 0, and 6 times 8 equals 48. And then I will go ahead and I will add them together. And our answer is 4,800. Now, if I took this and I wanted to use my shortcut really is, okay, I know that there's a 0 there, so I'm just going to put a 0 here. And I know that everything there will equal a 0, and then I'm just going to go ahead and multiply out the 6. So I have 6 times 0, and then I have 6 times 8, and that's 48. And do you see I get the same answer? Okay, so that was for the top part. Now we have the standard algorithm using numbers that don't have zeros in them. So again, I'm going to work out the example, and I have 184 times 36. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 6. 6 times 4 is 24. I need to regroup the 2. 6 times 8 is 48, plus the 2 is 50, so I regroup the 5. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 5, so I add that and I get 11. Now don't forget, this is really important, that you need to add the placeholder in the second partial product. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cross these out so I don't get confused when I multiply out the 3. So 3 times 4 is 12, I regroup. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25, I regroup. And 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 equals 5, and then I'm going to add them together. 4, 2, 6, 6. And I'm going to cross-reference with the example here, and as you can see, it's 6,624. So that is what you are doing on page 175. Now if we turn and look at page 177, we have also gone over how to simplify fractions, but this is just kind of breaking it down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find all the factors of each number. So if you see here for 2, and remember a factor is a number that you can multiply to equal the number. So for 2, it's just the numbers 1 and 2. If I were to use the number 10, which isn't on here, it's just all the numbers that you can multiply to make 10. So it would be, if I did 10, it would be 1, 2, 5, and 10. Okay, so that's all you're going to do for the top is think about the numbers that you can multiply to equal the number listed there. Now, for number 2, it says you can simplify a fraction by dividing the numerator and the denominator by the same number. If you divide the numerator and the denominator by the largest factor they have in common, which is called the greatest common factor, you can show the fraction in its simplest form. Look carefully at the example below, then fill in the rest of the table. Okay, so for the example here, you will see that for 4/12, all they're doing here is they're looking at what are the factors of the numerator. And if I might be wrong, but I feel like all these numbers are already listed up here, so we already did some of that work. So if you look at number 4, all the factors for the numerator are 1, 2, and 4. And for 12, all the factors for that denominator are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Those are all the numbers that you can multiply that will equal 12. So what do they have in common? The biggest number, the greatest number they have in common is 4. So that's why you list that here. And then over here, all you're doing is you're taking, what this is showing you here is that they wrote 4/12, and they just kind of did it like this, and they're dividing the top and the bottom by 4. And when you do that, 4 divided by 4 equals 1, and then 12 divided by 4 equals 3. And so the number in simplest form would be 1/3, or the fraction in simplest form. Now up here, you can kind of see on mine, but I'm sure you can see in your book, this is shaded. So these are shaded here. And they just want you to fill in this fraction to show what is 1/3 or 4/12. So you have a grid here of 12 boxes, and you have shaded in 4, which actually, if you look at it, is also 1 out of 3. 1 row out of 3 rows. So that is what you are doing on this page. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, but I think we've done this before, but again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I will be there to help you. All right, have a good day.